Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. Oh, I'm sitting down today to do a lot of Seraph of the End recordings. So I just finished season 1 about a week ago. I had to take a week off, and so now I'm going back. And before I start technically the second cour, technically season 2, I'm just going to keep it Seraph of the End on YouTube and Patreon. But before I start episode 13, I have been told that there's an OVA and that there is a series of OVA shorts called Seraph of the Endless that have 2 parts. And the first part you're supposed to watch before starting cour 2. So I'm going to turn my light up here. There we go. So I have a lot of Seraph of the End that I'm planning to record today. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to be recording the OVA, the first 9 mini episodes of Seraph of the Endless, and then starting with episode 13. So I'm going to be putting on YouTube and Patreon that we're going to have like a little mini Seraph week to kind of get this other stuff in between seasons. I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, season 2, or season 1 rather, episode 12, ended very succinctly, had a very definitive closing to it. We know that you and Mika know each other are safe. They're both having the resolve to go rescue each other. Each side is kind of licking their wounds post this battle that's just happened. And we don't know exactly where it's going to go from here, but it had a nice little resolution. So I'm curious what this OVA is going to be about. I was told that I have to watch it before starting season 2, so clearly it's important. I'm assuming it touches on things in the manga that were cut out of the anime. And then with Seraph of the Endless, it's a bunch of little mini shorts, and there's 2 parts of it. And the first part I was told I need to watch before season 2 as well. So lots of Seraph content. I'm pretty excited. I'm recording it all today, so if my shirt doesn't change between those 3 videos, that's why. But yeah, I have no clue what is going to go down. With the OVA, there's not really a copy you can buy. It came with one of the volumes of the manga, which is tragic. I don't know why anime series do that. I guess I know why, because it's to get you to buy the manga. But in Japan, the manga are like $5. And they include this OVA, and I'm like, really? So I wish they'd just license them, especially if they're canon with the series, but what can we do? So, but in any case, I found it on, on Bilibili. Bilibili had it pulled up, so I'm watching it on there. It's not quite as sketch of a site as what I've been watching OVAs on, so that's good. But yeah, let's dive in. I'm pretty excited to see what all goes down in this OVA and how it connects to season 1, and then what it could possibly mean for season 2. And so with that being said, we're going to start Seraph of the End, the OVA, and we are going to start it here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So, this OVA! Oh, I'm glad y'all had me watch this before going any further, because it definitely feels like manga chapters that they didn't really, which they had enough material to make a 23-minute episode. I don't know why they didn't. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it didn't need to be in the season, but it clearly is important. It establishes some important things. So we have the guy, Shahar, the whole thing with him, and he was human. Yeah, so he was human. He doesn't have like the super pale skin like Farid and all them, which Farid and Crowley, they're super pale and everything. So I wonder if they're like because yeah, they're progenitors, so they're one of the original ones. So Farid turned Shahar and just kind of let him go. And then Shahar ended up killing his sister. He ended up drinking his sister's blood, which I'm assuming. So we've established that Mika's eyes are still blue. He doesn't have the pointy elven ears because he's not drank human blood. He's only drank vampire blood. That's what he's been living off of. So assuming that once you drink human blood, that's when you fully turn. And so for Shahar, it was when he drank his sister, Lana, that he became a full-fledged vampire officially. So Mika's not at that point yet. But yeah, that's a good mechanic to know about. And there's so many parallels between Shahar and Mika, like Shahar being so obsessed with the idea of getting his sister back, and that he killed her. And in Mika's case, Mika is obsessed with getting you back, but Mika's obviously not killed you. You is alive and well. But there's that like single-minded sort of like obsession with something you care about, right? And Farid doesn't seem to have that. Farid and Crowley are very detached from it. That is the one distinction. It seems like the from what we've seen, the humans that have become vampires are, it's like almost like their emotions are heightened to an extreme extent. Whereas with characters like Ferret and Crowley, and I don't know if it's just that they've been vampires for so long that they've kind of forgot all of that. It's kind of washed away. Again, one of the most fascinating things about this series to me is the idea that Ferret wants Mika to become one of them. And he's like, oh, the humans are bad for you, don't you see? Like, you should become friends with us. And he tells Shahar that. He says, like, you can't do things on your own. If you try to be on your own, it's not going to work. It's very much what Gurren tells you and all them. Like, if you're by yourself, you're going to die. You've got to have other people supporting you. So that's interesting. Very interesting. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do with this? But yeah, it was a very self-contained episode. And I get why they made it an OVA. It doesn't really tie to the rest of the plot, but it explains some things that are really important. And I feel like it's important that you is the one to connect to both Rico and Shahar and kind of hear their side of the story. And it's really sad because by the end of it, Shahar's like, while I'm still human, before I slip any further from my humanity, I want you to kill me. And so I'm afraid, what I'm afraid is that this is going to connect to if you and Mika, if Mika's like but I don't think that will happen. Here's the thing. The thing of it is that Lana was dead already. And so Shahar just didn't want to live anymore, but he kept building up this delusion that he could have his sister back when he couldn't. The difference is, on the surface, you would think that this is setting up for you to kill Mika. But I don't think that that's it at all, because you and Mika have each other. It's the brother-sister relationship. I mean, I ship it as more than that, but it is their relationship. And I think that it's being built up that, like, no, Mika is not going to ask you to kill him because the person that's Lana to Shahar is you to Mika. So it's not going to be necessary. But yeah, interesting, right? And Ferret being a bully. Ferret is a character that I love to hate. He's such a diva. Like, that walk at the end towards Mika, I was like, are you kidding me? What a flamboyant diva. Like, come on. Like, just a peacock running around. But Ferret's character is so interesting and engaging because he is just a bastard. He's so cruel. He just showed up to Shahar not to kill him, not to torture him, just to mentally scar him and bring up all these reminders of who he killed when he became a vampire, just to hurt him. It's like, really? Like, he's just that kind of character. And Crowley's with him. I feel like Crowley's going to become more integral to the next half. He's going to become more important in the second half, is my thought on it. But because we've seen more and more of him as the season has gone on, he feels like it's like Ferret is the final boss of this series, because I know the manga keeps going, right? Ferret is not the end all be all boss. I mean, Cruel is the 3rd progenitor and Ferret is the 7th and Crowley is the 13th. So clearly Cruel, and I don't know if Cruel would be a final boss. I guess she would be. I guess Mika is never going to be totally free unless she's out of the way, but I don't know how that's going to work unless she like lets him go or something. But I feel like Crowley is like the faux boss of this season, this series. And then Ferret is like, I don't think they'll kill Ferret in this series, if I'm being honest. Because I know the manga extends beyond this. And I want to read the manga after this. So I feel like Ferret is somebody that will die later in the manga, but I see Crowley dying in this series, like with season 2. I see Crowley going down in season 2. I don't see Ferret. I just don't see it, but I don't know for sure. But oh my gosh, I really like this OVA. I liked that we got a little bit more mechanics. Like we saw that Yoichi had like the sniper, like the scope with his eyes when he fired the arrows. That was really cool. And then Kimazuki. So here's the thing. Kimazuki has a younger sister. And so when he finds out about the whole, I'm glad that Shinoa and all them find out about Shahar and Lana and Rico at the end. I'm glad they know. And knowing that you was the one to take him out, I guess that restores a lot of their faith in you, that he won't be compromised emotionally unless it comes to Mika. But here's the thing too. I think Shinoa throughout the course of these last few episodes has come to realize that Mika is kind of in a weird circumstance. And so I think Shinoa under the surface is okay with Mika being here because she realized how important he is to you. and that he's kind of in a weird situation. And with this OVA, I feel like Kimizuki is starting to kind of empathize with you as well, because he knows what it's like to have family threatened. And when he finds out about Lana and Shahar, it seems like he empathizes with the situation as well, because he has a younger sister. If he had been in the same shoes as Shahar, it probably would have been the same thing, right? So again, this OVA does something where it humanizes, you know, in the oddest of ways, the vampires, at least the ones that have been turned against their will, and kind of puts them in a different light. And so I like that the series, as it goes on, it takes something that is a concrete villain in episode 1, and it starts to show how complicated it all is, in the same way that humanity is complicated, right? So I like that about this series and what it's been doing so far. That's really, really fun. But yeah, I like that we got to hear the OP one more time. Got to hear the OP one more time before we start Cour 2. I am excited for Cour 2 and see what the new... I love the OP and Edie though. So I'm like, I don't know how they're going to top it, because the OP and Edie was perfect. So, I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I'm very, very curious. So what I'm going to be doing next is I actually went out because I found Seraph of the Endless, the little tiny mini episodes. There's not really a great way to watch them online. And then I found out they're in the Blu-ray. So thanks, Patreon, for getting me the Blu-ray. So I got the Blu-ray of Seraph of the End. It did not have the OVA as part of it, which is why I watched it on Bilibili. But basically I got the Blu-ray. And so it's split up into two different parts, the mini episodes. One part is after season 1 is over, and the other part is after season 2 is over. So fun times. But yeah, so interestingly enough, I do want to make note, looking at Mika's character design, I was curious about the whole ears thing, because looking at Mika's character design, his hair covers up his ears. So I was like, does Mika have pointy ears already? Does he already have pointy ears and his eyes just haven't changed? We don't know. We don't know for sure, because the other character, Shahar, his ears had changed, but his hair was back where you could see it. So, that'll be interesting to see as the story unfolds. Maybe we'll get to see his ears or not, but I don't know. His hair covers it up, so you can't really tell. So I don't know if his ears have changed already, or if we just see if his eyes are still the same, or if his eyes and ears are the same too. So I don't know. I'm very curious to know what you thought about this OVA down below. I really liked this OVA. It was a nice little segue, a little bridge between... I liked that it very much bridges Cour 1 and Cour 2, and it references the end of episode 12 and seems like it's setting up for episode 13. I like that a lot. So I'm going to watch Seraph of the Endless next and do a little mini video on that, and then round out my day today watching Seraph of the End episode 13. So... I'm excited. I am excited too, because if I have this Blu-ray, I'm going to try to watch it on this so that we don't have the Funimation lag. We'll see if that goes. But yeah, so I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Seraph of the End. Bye.